Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Codes. My name is Joel, here to give you today's money code fix. And today I want to go over the top 5 most common mistakes that trip people up when it's time to do their credit repair. Now, there's a whole bunch of mistakes that I see people do, but I want to narrow it down to just 5. There are more than 5. And a couple of these are very triggering for me. So let's just jump right in. And the first one that I see is disputing negative counts just because. So I see this a lot, and I got in the notes, use a scalpel, not a nuclear bomb. So when it's time to clean up a credit profile and you're going through your credit reports, I see some people try to approach this by just getting like the biggest nuclear bomb, destroying everything, getting rid of everything. They think that's the way to ensure they're going to get a good credit score, and that's not the case at all. Some of these negative accounts, quote unquote negative accounts, some of these accounts are actually holding up your credit score because these are some of your oldest accounts on your credit profile. So if you got like a 6-year-old, 5-year-old charge off on your account right now, you try to get rid of it, and there's nothing else on your credit profile, you just took away 5 years of age. And it's counterintuitive because you want to think that anything that is quote unquote negative needs to go. But as I always show you in a lot of these videos, I always show you that little pie chart that shows you 35, 30, 15, 10, 10, all the factors that make up your score. If you don't have age, you're missing a lot of points. You're going to be missing a lot of points off your credit report. So you need to approach the removal and the disputes of certain accounts with the mentality that you have a scalpel, not a nuclear bomb or a grenade that's in your hand. Some of these accounts, it may be best just to not do nothing with. They're old, they're propping up your credit score. You may want to leave those accounts for the end. If you have other accounts that are on your report that are able to sustain your credit age and that's able to sustain your credit mix, then you can start getting rid of some older accounts. But if you got the bare minimum, you need to be very particular what you try to dispute, what you try to challenge, what you try to remove, because in some cases, something is better than nothing when it comes to what makes up your credit score. Mistake number 2, waiting to build credit. Now, this is another one. This one is kind of triggering for me because I don't know where it comes from, and I'm hearing this a lot. For whatever reason, some people think that you need to clean up your credit reports completely, meaning you have no derogatory accounts whatsoever at all before you can start to apply and try to get positive trade lines added onto your account. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. Even in theory, it doesn't make sense. If most people's credit scores are negatively impacted because they don't have enough positive payment history, what kind of sense does it make to prolong adding in positive history? You can never have too much positive payment history. So even if you just gotten out of bankruptcy, let's say it's just got discharged, if you still have collections on your account right now, there is no reason why you can't add a couple of installment accounts to start adding positive payment history. If you have collections on your account right now, that means you have derogatory accounts, and that means you have evidence that you have not had a perfect payment history. So the best way to try to counteract that is to try to add positive payment history at the same time while you're trying to dispute these negative accounts. There is no perfect time to try to wait to get positive accounts added onto your account. While you're sending out your dispute letters, find some secured cards to add on. Find some installment accounts, find some secured savings account loans to put on your account. There are tons of different strategies and things that you can find for free on my YouTube channel. Add a couple of these accounts while you're doing your disputes, because in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, these little accounts that you're adding on now, they're going to make your credit profile that much stronger. So do not fall for the trap of waiting for this imaginary time where you have to wait to start applying for different credit products. Don't fall for that trap. Now, I will say this as a preface, there are certain accounts that you probably should wait to try to apply for because you may not be able to get approved for some of these type of loans and credit products. And that's a totally different story. But even if you are starting from ground zero, there are still quality products that you can add today. So number 3, disputing online. So I am not a fan of going through Credit Karma, Experian, and doing the digital disputes. I did a video, I want to say like 5 months ago, where I did a complete video breaking down the terms of service of Experian. And when you sign up for the online way of disputing, you are giving up certain rights that allow you to be able to litigate and to sue in the court with the jury And I actually want to show you a real life example. So let me jump out of this. All right, boom. So here we go. The National Law Review. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to give you the cliff notes as I always do. Experian avoids hefty punitive damage award, but still has to pay $5,000 for a single FCRA violation for claim pain and suffering, right? So to make a long story short, someone was trying to do a dispute with the credit bureaus. I believe they were disputing Portfolio Recovery Associates. So Portfolio Recovery is one of the bigger debt collection companies that buys, other debts. So they're one of the bigger debt collection companies. So someone was basically trying to dispute a derogatory account that was owned by Portfolio Recovery. And as I scroll down, I'm going to show you how exactly a consumer, just like you and I, was able to get Experian to cough up $5,000 because they tried to cut corners. So let's just read this very quickly. The plaintiff claimed that Experian negligently and willfully violated the FCRA by failing to reinvestigate the PRA, which is the debt collection company, credit after. The magistrate judge found as a matter of law that the failure to investigate was negligent. The jury awarded $5,000 in compensatory damages for the plaintiff's pain and suffering based on his testimony that Experian's letter and refusal to acknowledge his complaint stressed him out, caused him to lose sleep, and exacerbated a pre-existing nerve injury that caused him pain, right? So again, to make this long story short, the FCRA is to protect the consumer, you and I. So when you decide to opt in to Experian's digital platform and you want to dispute that way, what you're doing is, and let me jump over here, and I've gone over this in detail in another video, but I'm going very quickly just so you can get the juice of this, right? You and Experian understand and agree that the arbitration provision contained in section 23 provides that we each agree to resolve any disputes between us through binding arbitration or small claims court instead of in courts of general jurisdiction to the fullest extent permitted by law. So when you sign up for Experian's digital way of doing disputes, what you're doing is you are giving away your right to do what this person right here did, which is basically they found Experian. This consumer found out that the credit bureaus, they were in breach of FCRA. They asked the credit bureaus to do a valid investigation. They did not. So what this consumer did was they took the credit bureaus to court, and the jury found that the credit bureaus were guilty. And because of that, the court system actually made the credit bureaus pay out this consumer $5,000. $5,000. And for some people who are watching this and thinking, I don't have money to hire an attorney to sue the credit bureaus, there are some attorneys that would actually take on your case for free because they know that if they can prove that these debt collection companies, these debt furnishers, these credit bureaus, if they catch them slipping, and it's very easy to do if you have a proper paper trail, if you catch these people slipping, you can get them to pay you out. Not only are you able to clean up your credit reports, but you're able to get them to actually pay you out because they breached FCRA, right? So this is what you're giving up if you decide to sign up for Experian's version of doing your digital disputes. So I say all of that to basically say, stick to the old school model of you print it out, you have your 5 disputes, you send it out certified mail, you send it out, boom, you wait 30, 40 days, you follow up, right? This is the way to do it. Everybody likes to go digital, but it's not worth it, right? This is what happens when you're able to do things the right way. You catch them slipping, you get an attorney, you get paid out, right? This is how the game works. All right, so that was number 3, disputing online. Number 4, lack of patience. So again, people try to cut corners. People try to file false FTC affidavits. People try to claim identity theft when there was no identity theft. There's a whole bunch of different hustles and finesses that you can see online, and it does work for some people, but you don't want to rid yourself of one problem just to take on another problem, right? The way to clean up your credit report is very simple. You can follow a simple formula. Be patient, right? It's not going to be overnight. Be patient and you can see your credit score increase over time. Stop going for the shortcuts because you're going to cause yourself more problems. Be patient, stick to the script. There is no magic pill. There is no magic letter. Now, there are certain ways to approach it. There are certain techniques to approach it. Now, if you're not aware of it, go to creditcodes.com, download my free PDF. I give you the fundamentals to start off right. Be patient. Do not play yourself and think that you got to take shortcuts. This is a marathon. You do things the right way, you will see the fruits of your labor. And paying debts outside of the statute of limitations. I mentioned this before, I think 2 videos ago. Be very particular when you're looking at your credit profile. Look at the statutes of limitation. If you have multiple accounts that's on your credit profile, you don't need to pay off everything at once. There may be some derogatory accounts that are reporting on your credit reports that are outside of your state statute of limitations. So those won't be the accounts that I will be lining up to pay first, right? You need to pick and choose who you want to settle with, pick and choose who you want to dispute with, but pay attention to your state's statutes of limitation before you start to pay off or try to dispute anything, right? So that is it. That's all I got for you for today. I wanted to make it straight to the point. Make sure you are going and following the steps. Stick to the fundamentals. Stop going for the okie doke. If something sounds too good to be true, it likely is. Just look in the comments of some of the videos I have on YouTube. There are tons and tons of people that are showing you how they're able to get 20 points, 40 points, 60-point increases just by sticking to the fundamentals. Also, don't forget to check out the merch. Link will be in the description. Make sure to support the channel by copping a hoodie, copping a t-shirt. What else? I think that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to hit the bell notification. Make sure you stay tuned. And I'll catch you out in the next video. Peace.